Hi guys, this is Love Living Green with Natalie. I'm Natalie and I'm coming at you from my beautiful place here at the Rabbit Hole in Upper Hutt, New Zealand. And what I want to talk to you about today is how to actually get those sustainable lifestyle changes that you're trying to make to stick. Because let's be honest, who here hasn't thought, I should be driving my car less, I should be taking my shopping bags to the supermarket every single time, I should be recycling everything I can, I should be starting a compost, I should be growing my own food, should, and then these things didn't happen. Now, rest assured, if that's you, you're not alone. I've been teaching this stuff for 15 years. I've met hundreds and hundreds of people, and what most people don't realize is that making these sustainable lifestyle changes is actually just like making any other change in your life. It takes a bit of determination, and a few things need to be in place and they need to go right for it to stick. And you can do this yourself. Think about a time in your life where you've actually made a change and stuck with it and felt really good about it and were really successful. And then think about a time in your life where you've kind of been thinking, yeah, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, but it simply hasn't happened. And that's a really good way to work out what needs to be in place for you to actually stick with what you want to do. I'll give you 3 little tips here that I can recommend that will make a difference. And number 1 is you need to create leverage. As long as you still think that I should be doing this, it's probably not going to happen. It needs to become a must. If change becomes a must, it will happen. And for me, that moment arrived when, I've told the story before, that moment arrived when my first son was born, Finlay, in 2005, and it was literally 3 or 4 days after the birth, and I was holding this little baby. I was looking at his face, and I suddenly knew, I just knew with absolute certainty that I needed to do the things that I already knew about, detoxing our home, making sure he would be eating good organic food, ideally from our own garden. I'd need to keep all the sort of horrible toxic mess away from him, and so on and so forth. As soon as I looked at my baby, I knew that was an absolute must. It needed to happen, and it did. So creating leverage is really important. And for some people, it's enough to, see the pictures of, say, the albatrosses with their gut full of plastic, or to think of the sea turtles getting tangled up in floating plastic bags in the sea, all these sorts of things. Some people require a little bit more. And leverage goes both ways. Some people are motivated by something they want to move away from, and some people are really motivated by something they want to move towards. And moving towards is a really great thing to use when it comes to sustainability, because you can actually think about how much better you're going to feel once you start eating all that healthy organic food, and how much better your body is going to feel, and how it's going to be when your brain fog clears up and you can suddenly think clearly. And how wonderful it'll be to walk out to your own garden and pick your salad greens for your salad every night, as I do almost on a daily basis, and pull those carrots that you've planted. All these sorts of things can be hugely motivating, and it's all about creating leverage. So that's something to work through and to think about and to make it a must. Number 2 is to use helpful tools. One of the helpful tools, I'll put a link below this video. You can download it from my website. I use a habit tracker, which is simply a piece of paper with lots of little boxes saying for the next 30 days, I'm going to be doing this or that. And I just completed a 365-day yoga challenge just by ticking a box every time. And why? Because I'm a visual person, and I could not stand the thought of having a box unticked in this beautiful long row of ticked boxes. So you can do the same. You can print off your habit tracker, you can put it on your wall or on your fridge or on your bathroom mirror if it's about having shorter showers, and you can look at it every day and you can tick the box, yes, I've done it. Another helpful tool you can use is the alarm function on your phone. Set your alarm to go off every Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock, when it's time to put the recycling out to the curb. In fact, maybe set it to go off on a Monday night when it's time to put the recycling into the recycling bin, so that you can take it out on Wednesday morning. Using those we all have these technical devices. Might as well use them for something positive, and use the reminder function, etc., etc. And the third hot tip to help sustainable changes stick is to use peer pressure. Using peer pressure is a really, really strong way to motivate yourself, and you can do that in two ways. One is making a public announcement, whether you put it on your Facebook wall, from now on I'm going to not accept any more plastic by not buy any more plastic, or whether you tell your friend about it, or whether you get your spouse to hold you accountable, or your kids for that matter. You can make it a competition, hold me accountable to having a 3-minute shower. And trust me, they'll have a great time doing it. So using peer pressure, and you can use it in another way as well, by surrounding yourself with people who are already doing what you want to be doing. So for example, you could be joining a club. Maybe there's a club nearby that cleans up beaches or plants trees or writes petitions for or against something. Surrounding yourself with people who are already doing this stuff is going to be a really, really powerful way to get you to be more motivated. And in fact, before you know it, you might be the odd one out. You might be the only person not bringing their own coffee cup, or the only person not doing this, because it's all about who we surround ourselves with. And especially if you're someone who feels like, I don't want to be the odd hippie who's doing all this weird shit and turning up at work with, my lunchbox instead of my takeaway meals or whatever. It's really important to create a crowd around yourself of people who are already doing it. It's not meaning getting rid of your old friends. It just means adding a few new ones. So that's my third tip, using peer pressure. And I'd love to hear how you go with all of that, and whether you've experienced any of these challenges in the past. Drop me a comment and I'll be back soon. Bye.